A 38-year-old woman had sex with a college boy and fell in love with him. Will their love story end happily or not? Stay tuned to know. The movie opens with Alice, a 38-year-old professional who is traveling back to Paris after a business trip to Brazil. As she heads to the airport, she calls her longtime friend Pauline, who updates her on the latest office gossip. Pauline tells Alice that their boss, Lisa, has been in a tight spot since Alice's departure and is now focusing on their younger, more daring colleague, Elise. Alice is eager to speak to Lisa upon her return, but Pauline mentions that Lisa and Vincent, their mutual boss, have been spending a lot of time together, seemingly a sign of something more personal. Alice is frustrated by this, especially after hearing about how Elise has been getting ahead. On the flight back, Alice's encounter with a man who's too assertive for her taste adds to her irritation. However, she is soon distracted by a teenage boy, Balthazar, whose seat has been taken by another passenger. The flight attendant assigns Balthazar to sit next to Alice in first class. Initially, Alice is annoyed by Balthazar's carefree attitude and the way he's enjoying his upgraded seat. But soon, turbulence shakes the plane and Alice's fears get the best of her. As the plane shakes violently, Alice grabs Balthazar's hand in panic, a gesture of vulnerability that neither of them expected. When the turbulence subsides, Alice tries to regain her composure, but Balthazar seems completely at ease. After the flight, Balthazar realizes that Alice has dropped a flash drive during the chaos. He chases her to return it, but she's already in a taxi, unaware of his efforts. At her workplace, Alice is immediately greeted by Elise, who wastes no time in reminding her that Alice is a little more reserved compared to her daring, risk-taking personality. Alice feels even more insecure when Vincent, their boss, suggests that Elise might be a better fit for the role Alice has been eyeing. He tells Alice that Elise's boldness inspires people, whereas Alice's more cautious approach doesn't align with the magazine's rebellious spirit. While Alice remains focused on her work, her ex-husband picks up their daughter Zoe, reminding Alice of her personal life slipping away. Back at the office, Alice realizes she's misplaced the flash drive that holds important work documents. In an attempt to retrieve it, Alice contacts Balthazar, who answers while at a noisy bar with his friends. He agrees to meet Alice, but when she arrives, she discovers that Balthazar doesn't have her flash drive with him. It's at his home. Despite the mix-up, Alice spends time at the bar with Balthazar and his friends. To Alice's surprise, her co-workers spot her there, and gossip begins to spread, thanks to a photo snapped from a distance, showing Alice with Balthazar. The caption calling her a cougar sparks office rumors, and Alice's professional reputation becomes entwined with her personal life. Vincent, upon hearing about the rumors, encourages Alice to lean into the image of her dating a younger man, claiming that her boldness will align with the magazine's new direction. Feeling pressured, Alice agrees to meet Balthazar again, this time dressed provocatively, in an effort to solidify her professional standing and appease Vincent. They attend an art exhibition, but Alice soon finds herself feeling out of place as she tries to impress him. She struggles with the exhibition's pretentiousness, and when the artist, Claude, arrogantly dismisses Balthazar's honest critique, Alice realizes that Balthazar's genuine attitude stands in stark contrast to the superficiality of the art world. As the evening progresses, Alice attempts to maintain the facade of a romantic relationship with Balthazar, hoping to garner her boss's approval. At home, Alice continues to grapple with her conflicting desires, questioning whether she's truly in love with Balthazar or if she's simply using him as a way to get ahead in her career. As her personal and professional worlds collide, Alice is pushed into further uncomfortable situations. She attends a runway show with Balthazar, but when he embarrasses himself with a misunderstanding about a celebrity, Alice feels the strain of trying to control the narrative. At the after-party, Alice introduces Balthazar to her boss, and the tension is palpable. As their dance turns sensual to deflect attention, Alice's boss believes the two are having a romantic tryst. The next morning, Alice finds herself back in Balthazar's apartment, where they share an intimate moment. Despite their connection, Alice still feels conflicted. She's aware that their age difference could lead to complications down the line, especially as she faces societal judgment for dating a younger man. A realization begins to dawn on Alice. She is both using the relationship to secure her career and genuinely enjoying her time with Balthazar, even if she's too proud to admit it. Meanwhile, at work, Alice is faced with more challenges. While she has successfully pitched a bold idea for an issue on transcending stereotypes and breaking free from conventional expectations, her personal life becomes a distraction. Her boss, Vincent, admires Alice's willingness to embrace her newfound boldness, but expects Alice to take it further by convincing Balthazar to pose for a photo shoot. Alice, who feels uncomfortable with using Balthazar as a tool for her own advancement, grapples with the consequences of her actions. The photo shoot itself is a disaster, as Balthazar, angry and upset by Alice's manipulation, storms off. Alice tries to salvage the situation, but her relationship with Balthazar deteriorates. Vincent fires Alice, telling her she has ruined their professional relationship and suggesting that she find another career. Devastated, Alice leaves the office, uncertain about both her job and her relationship. In the following days, Alice reflects on everything that's happened. She finds reminders of Balthazar scattered throughout her life, a note he left on a tree, a piece of his artwork behind her mirror. Eventually, Alice decides to seek him out, visiting his college in a final attempt to reconcile. By chance, she stumbles into a lecture on architecture and, through a series of misunderstandings, ends up in front of a classroom full of students, where she admits her mistakes. In a bold move, Alice confesses her feelings to Balthazar, much to the applause of the students. They share a passionate kiss, solidifying their bond. Months later, Alice has written a book inspired by her relationship with Balthazar. She visits him at his apartment, where they share a kiss, finally free from the pressures of their past misunderstandings. Alice has come to terms with who she is, both as a woman and a professional. Her journey of self-discovery has led her to find balance, acceptance, and the courage to embrace love, regardless of societal judgments. The film ends with Alice's realization that, while the path to personal fulfillment is complicated, it's worth taking the risk of defying expectations and living authentically. Comment down your thoughts and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We are so close to hit 400 subscribe, so hit it hard.